Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. The new GTA Online Christmas update is well underway. We're now in week 2, and of course, with this whole update and event for 2025 here, we have some discounts on some collector's vehicles that I think you do not want to miss out on for this Christmas event here in GTA Online. This is going to be your Christmas vehicles buyer's guide. Overall, I think as a weekly update would go, the discount opportunities are decently good. Some are actually great for players who are looking for some vehicle savings that are up for grabs. Overall, though, for a 3-week Christmas event, I do wish it was a little bit better. As always, I'm here to break down all of the best deals so that I can help you make the most informed choices on your purchases, because honestly, your hard-earned cash is valuable, right? I want to ensure that you get the most out of every single purchase during these weekly events. So even though I'm sure you're saving your money for some of the other upcoming drip feed content with the Mansions DLC, like those overpriced police cars and some of the other drip feed vehicles, I hope you find some helpful performance reviews here on some of this week's best vehicle discounts as well as business picks. So without further ado, we have a lot to get through. Thank you so much for tuning back in, and let's get started. Starting off, let's talk about the free vehicle that you can actually get for this week. Besides the normal LS Car Meet free vehicle, the podium vehicle, as well as the claimable salvage yard vehicle, we have a free helicopter given out to every single player. You log on to the ADIOS travel website, you can claim your very own SuperVolito carbon for absolutely free. This is normally a $3.33 million luxury civilian helicopter. You also get one supplied in your agency as that business's transport vehicle. But what's interesting about this is, like I said, you can just go on the website and get it. What players used to do to get this helicopter for free, which I think, believe it or not, is more than the cost of like a base agency itself, which is kind of funny. Players would take their agency SuperVolito carbon, fly it to their hangar. That way they could keep a personal vehicle copy of the SuperVolito carbon in their hangar, and then at their agency they still get the business transport helicopter. That was the method of getting this for free before, but for players out there who don't have an agency, you can get this one directly for free for $0 off the ADIOS travel in-game website. This event will last essentially 2 weeks here that you can claim this vehicle for free. It's just a luxury civilian aircraft, no weaponry or anything like that, but it's, you know, it handles well in the air. It's fast, it's nimble, it's lightweight, etc. And if you don't have the agency, now you can get your very own for free because you can just claim it for free off the in-game website. Starting off for our major property discount for this Christmas event, before we jump into any of the actual vehicle discounts, we have the Grass Farm Business as well as all of the associated Grass Farm Business upgrades and modifications on sale for 40% off. I have the game muted right now because you just hear the fans and the humming and the buzzing, and it doesn't sound good. But the Grass Farm is actually a pretty good business this week for a few different reasons. You have a total of 4 different locations to choose from. They all share the same interior layout with the grow room, the packing area, the storage space. And obviously it becomes more visually like cluttered and active once you fully staff and supply it. But on its own, Grass is one of the weaker MC businesses in terms of raw profit. But if you purchase the Smoke on the Water Smoke Shop, that's actually going to give your Grass Farm a 35% sale bonus on your sale values to the actual Grass Farm itself. And that makes it far more worthwhile than usual, in my opinion. Then on top of that, you can even add your own mansion production speed boost to this business. That's going to further raise your profit per hour ceiling. And with those boosts applied, you can expect typically $229,000 per hour with this business, but that changes significantly for limited time only during this Christmas event when this video is being made, because it's double money as a weekly money bonus. So it's more like $458,000 per hour. Then on top of that, the nightclub organic produce that's directly tied to this grass farm is also paying out double money this week, and that's going to stack really nicely with your MC bonus. If you already own a nightclub, this makes the grass one of the few MC businesses that's actually worth running right now instead of just passively feeding nightclub stock. That is, if you want to put up with those awful and tedious, super boring and long-winded sale missions, which to be honest, even with double money, I personally just don't want to deal with, but I also just don't want to miss out on this event that much, since it is going to last a total of 3 weeks. I don't want to completely ignore it. I think that would be a shame. So all that to say is this: I myself don't want to drive slow sale vehicles around for 20 to 25 minutes selling full stock. Personally, for this event, I'm just going to experiment with doing just one resupply of grass, then selling when that's full like I'm doing right now. Optimally, I'd love to just get a solo truck, you know, the one without the passenger who hot boxes the cab. But if I don't, I'll still deal with, say, a motorcycle, for example, or maybe even a helicopter. Maybe you guys watching don't mind running the full MC business sale missions, but Myself, I would rather do literally anything else in the game, and I usually do, like the salvage yard missions, or the auto shop contracts, garment factory FIB files, the agency and the Dr. Dre contract, Cluck and Bell, Oscar Guzman questline, the new No Way Out heist, anything but MC sales, please. I hate them, they're torture, maybe you like them, I loathe them. For our first vehicle discount I'd like to discuss with you, this is on the Warstock Cash and Carry website, and as you can see, it's the Insurgent, and so you can get it for $628,425. This is a 30% off vehicle discount, as are the rest we're going to be discussing. You can see the trade price right here for $472,500. Now, the Insurgent is awesome because it's super heavy, and that's going to be good for a few reasons, but I'll just list the downside. Obviously, that's going to hurt its acceleration, but still, top speed is perfectly fine, and it handles surprisingly well for how much this thing weighs, and it's such a large armored vehicle, so it's impressive just for that reason alone. The mass itself is going to keep it planted in the corners. It only has like a mild little bit of understeer, maybe a little bit unstable if you get some air time, but if you roll over, you can recover from that extremely quickly. And also, like I said, the positives for the immense mass and weight it has, it makes it completely devastating in all sorts of car crashes and collisions. Any smaller vehicle obviously is going to get absolutely crushed. You're going to be able to push through traffic, take no damage at all from that, and the armor is one of this vehicle's biggest strengths. You can withstand multiple explosives, so for example, 7 sticky bombs or RPGs, or 22 homing missiles, tons of sustained gunfire. The large windows that it has, though, it's going to make the occupants in this vehicle a little bit vulnerable to some small arms fire. You know, if someone's using auto aim or something like that, they may be able to get a lock on you through the front windshield if they're like super good, or if just the bot's carrying them, but either way, it is what it is. After completing the Humane Labs raid, though, you can get the trade price for this vehicle, which is this right here. So you can get it for $472,500. And then you could further take the Insurgent, bring it to your MOC or Avenger, and upgrade it and turn it into the Insurgent Pickup Custom. And that makes it an even better squad-based combat vehicle, and it has room to seat a total of 9 players, which is just absolutely absurd. Next up, we're going to head on over to Benny's, because this is another vehicle discount that's only on this website, and then the others are on the typical Legendary Motorsport and Southern San Andreas Super Autos discount pages that we'll discuss after this. But next up, this Progen Itali GTB, again, 30% off. You can get it for $832,300. This is a sweet vehicle for a few reasons, because as you can see right here, this is just the stock version. You can turn it into the Benny's Progen Itali GTB Custom, which just makes this thing even better. But the Benny's original Motorworks Itali GTB was introduced with the Import-Export DLC. Performance-wise, it delivers decently strong acceleration and a competitive top speed. It's very capable in a supercar class race. It has all-wheel drive, so that's going to give you excellent handling and stability. It's going to show mild understeer on some sharp downhill corners, so keep an eye out for that. Durability, I'd say, is solid overall, and any good driver in this game won't have much trouble at all managing the few handling quirks that this vehicle actually has. On top of that, like I said, it can be upgraded to the Itali GTB Custom at Benny's. That's going to unlock the wide body styling and significantly expand your customization options on this vehicle. Also, performance gets a slight buff with the Benny's version. My recommendation, though, for this week, or just for the Christmas event in general, while it's discounted, buy 2 if you're interested. 1 to keep the OG Itali GTB, and then 1 to transform into the GTB Custom at Benny's, so you can enjoy driving both around in 2026. Now moving over to Legendary Motorsport and this basically in-game website, we have one of my favorites that I would say is on offer for the Christmas event when it comes to these discounted vehicles. It is the Pagasi Reaper, and this vehicle gives you super strong acceleration. It's very good for getting ahead early in a race or just driving around in free roam and escaping from players who are harassing you or targeting you. The top speed is probably not really class leading, or it's definitely not class leading, but it's still solid, and it will benefit noticeably from all the performance upgrades you can apply to it, just like any vehicle. Handling is where this car really shines. It has exceptional grip, it's very stable. To me, it feels glued to the road at high speeds, and that's a good thing. It's got all-wheel drive, so that's to its benefit as well. It's got a lightweight carbon fiber body, and overall, if you're on a technical racetrack or just driving through the city on those sharp corners and, you know, in the city streets, any sort of technical track, it's going to excel at cornering with that. Braking performance is also excellent in my opinion. The biggest downside, though, is that you have very limited customization compared to other supercars, but nonetheless, you can get it for 30% off. Next up is this Declasse Deity featured here. This is one of the more underappreciated Imani Tech sedans, in my opinion. Unlike the age verification system though, this car is actually going to protect you from predators in the game. To me, it's a true jack of all trades vehicle. It can seat 4 players, it's good for heists, PvP chaos, or just free roam cruising. With full armor upgrades, you can actually tank up to 4 RPGs or even 12 homing missiles. You get bullet resistant glass windows for added survivability, and performance wise, it's surprisingly quick for an armored sedan. You can get up to around 115 or so miles an hour, and that's going to easily outperform most other armored vehicles when it comes to lap time, so that's an important little bit to know right there. But on top of all that, you get the full Imani Tech suite. So you get the missile lock-on jammer, or you could choose the remote control unit, you get machine guns, and you get proximity mines as well. It's definitely one of the most versatile defensive vehicles in all of GTA Online. It's certainly in the upper echelon, I would say. I mean, there's a lot up there, but this is up there for sure. Next up on Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we have this Declasse Walton L35. This released with the San Andreas Mercenaries update, and the L35 is primarily based on that early 90s Chevrolet S10. You also get some extra inspiration from the Toyota Hilux in the rear, but overall this is a very fun truck to drive. It's very capable, both on-road and off-road. It excels on all sorts of steep terrain or just any uneven surface that you'll find around the map. It has, you know, not record ground clearance, but good ground clearance. And it is a nice lifted truck, which I like. It's not going to be in the top tier of off-roaders, but still, nonetheless, very tough, very robust. It's just a very approachable option if you want a nice casual truck to drive around it. Of course, you need bulletproof tires because look at those massive exposed tires. You definitely need them for that. And I would also say, if I have to find a downside, it's tendency to flip over when you push it off-road too hard. You'll find that the center of gravity is high because it has that lifted suspension. So drive it with a little bit of restraint. Not much, but just be careful. It's a truck that's worth testing and having fun with regardless, especially at the price point while it's discounted this week. After that, we have the Anis Remus, and this car gives you very good acceleration and just a decent top speed. When you fully upgrade it, it does feel a little bit more sluggish than you'd want on a long straightaway without slipstream, but that being said, the handling's very good. You get a ton of strong grip, very, very stable, which is important for a vehicle regardless of its actual grip and handling. It feels very balanced when you drive it. There's not much oversteer, there's also not much understeer. The suspension's good, that's going to absorb all the bumps, and it handles off-road really well if you want to take it off-road. For street races, it's a solid pick, especially on technical tracks. That said though, like I said, despite the high traction, it will lose grip and spin out if you stay on the throttle all the time and you drive around aggressively like that. But it's a handling focused tuner in this game that's going to reward clean driving. It's not going to keep up with faster cars and straight line performance, but again, it's not a supercar. That's not what it's meant to do. The Dinka RT3000 is up next, and this car, again, like most that are actually discounted, it has a good top speed, good acceleration, no complaints there. That's 99.9% of vehicles in the game, but it does have worse traction than the Remus. In fact, maybe even poor traction, just for the fact it does cause heavy wheel spin off the line from a dig. So that's going to hurt your launch, but once it gets moving, it recovers very fast. You can keep the pace with faster cars and competitors. The handling, I would say, is still its biggest weakness. It has a lot of oversteer, and that's a little bit unstable through the corners despite the very sharp and precise steering feel that it has. The braking's really good. You could stop extremely quickly from a high speed. It's going to even outperform braking distances like you'd find on the Calico GTO, which is another great tuner's car and usually a player's favorite and what they consider the best. The lack of traction actually works in favor for drifting with this car though, and that's what makes it a good drifting vehicle. It's one of the best and most controllable drift cars in the game. It's just not like a circuit racer or anything like that. I have mine customized in pink like Suki's basically Honda S2000 in Fast and Furious, or Too Fast, Too Furious, right? In this game, you can make it look very similar and it's pretty cool. The Albany Brigham is up next. This is based on the 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor, and it drives very much like the Willard Eudora if you've driven that in-game, and if you haven't, allow me to describe it a little bit. Both cars are very slow, they're heavy, and they're built more for style than speed, of course, as expected. Not like I'm saying anything totally out of the ordinary here. Acceleration with this vehicle is going to be extremely sluggish. It has a low top speed. It makes it one of the slower vehicles that you're going to be driving in the game in general, and definitely one of the slowest that's on discount for the Christmas event. The handling feels very unresponsive even at low speed because you get a ton of understeer, which is pretty sad to see. The car leans very dramatically through the corners. It remains stable enough and easy to keep under control in some situations. The braking, it's decent, I would say, and it's surprisingly decent for such a large car, but the sheer weight of this thing makes it effective for pushing and ramming other cars in the game, so that's one small benefit you get out of it. If you add a roof accessory, what that's going to do is, it's a small little thing here, it's actually going to slightly improve your traction like a spoiler would in the game, which is, I don't know how that works, but if you want more traction, that's a way to do it. And then you can also get that Ghost Exposed livery for it. That's a clear nod to the Ecto 1A from Ghostbusters 2. I'm not sure if that's a livery you can get unless you did it and unlocked it during a Halloween event like last year or 2 years ago, but I think as of right now, if you already own the vehicle, you may be able to apply that customization and that livery to it. And here on Elitist Travel, this is a pretty unique one. We haven't seen this on discount for a while. It's the Sea Sparrow, which compared to the normal Sparrow and the standard Sparrow, the Sea Sparrow is actually more versatile. It has an ability to land directly on the water. That's going to be useful for any sort of coastal situation you find yourself in. It's very lightweight though, so what's going to happen is once you land it on the water and jump out, it's going to drift away from you after you make that water landing. The Dodo, for example, in that airplane can land on the water and then stay there, but that vehicle won't actually drift away from you. It will happen with this Sea Sparrow. So water landings, you need to be careful. Don't come in too fast. That's going to cause the helicopter to flip. You're going to destroy its rotors, stuff like that. The pontoon design though, that's going to help provide some smoother landings and better stability even on like actual ground landings and not water-based landings. It'll be softer, it's a little bit more smooth. It does lack countermeasures, but it has good maneuverability, and if you're a skilled pilot, you're good at using the normal Sparrow, you'll find yourself right at home with the Sea Sparrow. And the added advantage of this is a personal vehicle rather than a service vehicle, so you could actually have two running at the same time. And real quick before we wrap up, I want to show you the last vehicle that's discounted for 30% off. It is the Karin S95, so I'll put a picture up on screen. It's based on that first generation Subaru BRZ, and it's one of the best free vehicles that Rockstar's ever handed out because you can get it for free by migrating a last gen character to expanded and enhanced on PS5 as well as Xbox Series X and S. And then once you do that, it's actually added to your garage at no cost. Performance wise, it's one of the quicker sports cars in the game, really strong acceleration. It's got a nice lightweight feel, excellent grip. It's very fun and easy to drive, just cruising around the city, things of the like. The handling is very predictable and confidence inspiring, especially throughout the corners. And that's going to make it great for casual racing or, like I said, just normal city driving and money grinding. It's not the fastest sports car overall, but it's up there. And again, for a free vehicle, if you qualify with that prerequisite like I talked about, the S95 easily offers top tier value in my opinion. Even at its discounted price point this week, I still think it's worth buying and enjoying even if you can't get it for free and you just get the discount. With all that being said and out of the way though, we are going to be wrapping everything up right here. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Also, thank you so much for the support on the YouTube channel this year. We're not stopping anytime soon. I have tons of huge heavy hitting guides coming out to help you get started with GTA Online in 2026, or if you've just been playing a long time, a lot of guides just to help you out throughout the year. I'm going to be focusing on the biggest, most major topics first over the next several weeks. So been very hard at work to get those out on time for you guys. But also, if you just watch the weekly update related content, the news, the tips, the tricks, the buyer's guides, even the weekly money guides on the best ways to make millions, thank you so much for supporting all that content. Tons more to come. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day. Also, feel free to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv for more GTA Online money grinding live streams. It is the GTA 6 waiting room over on there. Again, have a fantastic day and have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow. Adios, amigos.